What's up, YouTube? We got a discussion to do today. This one's kind of serious. Today, I want to talk about yo-yo contests and moving forward here in 2020. So, obviously, we are still in the grips of a global pandemic. Can't talk too much about it on YouTube because then you get demonetized and your video gets hidden and what have you. But, we haven't had a contest in a while. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting the itch to have a contest. So I had put up a thread on the BST last week. Trying to gauge everybody's interests, opinions, and I appreciate everybody that gave me opinion. This is not this is purely selfish on my instant. I miss you guys. I miss yo-yo contests. The fact that we didn't get to have East Coast Masters this year. Honestly, had we had it 2 weeks earlier, we probably could have had it, but the cards just didn't fall in the right spot. We got shut down the week before we were supposed to have East Coast Masters. The governor was like, nope, can't do this stuff anymore. We shut it down before that, but it was just one of those things. So now, where are we? And truthfully, not much has changed. Sad to say, I'm still working from home. My kids still aren't in school. It's just nothing's changed right now. From at least here in Pittsburgh. We were lucky, I think. I think we, as the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County in general, I think really took it seriously. Our deaths are relatively low. We have some of the best hospitals in the world here in Pittsburgh, and they were able to save a lot of people. That being said, that doesn't mean that this isn't serious, and I don't want anybody to take my want to get back to yo-yo and get back to yo-yo contests and to see everybody as a sign of me not taking this seriously, because I certainly am. I do think, though, that moving forward, it's important to have a discussion on what do we do, how do we do it, what's safe, what's not safe, what are people willing to come to, what are people not willing to come to. I don't want to do an online contest. I know the Scales guys did one. It went great. And kudos to them for doing it. I hope they do more. They're awesome. And I liked watching it. And it was great. I don't want to do that. That's not something that I'm going to do. I'm not going to move East Coast Masters. We are not going to move East Coast Masters digitally. What we probably will do, and I've spoken with Kai about this, we just got to get our schedules to line up, is kind of do maybe a Google Meets almost yo-yo club type of thing where you all just kind of get together and throw. And I think that would be fun, and that would be something that I would want to do in a Google Meets format, or a Zoom call type of thing. But that's not a contest. It's not a sponsored event. It's not an event where I have to rent anything. It's not an event it wouldn't be anything that costs anything, is the other thing. But from the perspective of having a contest in person that is, both a yo-yo contest, but also sort of what we try to do with East Coast Masters is make it almost like a Comic-Con type of thing, like a con and a convention where we've got dealers and vendors and vendor tables, and it's a big to-do. So not only are you there to compete in a contest where you can win prizes for competing in a contest, but it's an event that the idea is to bring the community out. And, in the local, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, New York, Baltimore, Maryland area, people that are within a 5 or 6 hour drive, there's a lot of us. There's a lot of people on this coast, on the East Coast, who can come out and have a fun contest. And we were able to do that twice. Unfortunately, we are in the situation we are that we weren't able to have the third one. But it is something that I still want to get back to, and it's something that I think it's time to start having discussion as to when we can get back to it and how to do it. So there were a couple of ideas thrown out there. The first was just to have it in March and see what happens, or start planning for March and just see what happens. That seems unlikely, unfortunately. This is sort of also just a news discussion about it. That seems unlikely, unfortunately. Unless a lot of things change real fast, and I know, there's a lot of optimism out there that, maybe we'll have a vaccine that works. Clearly we're, at least in Allegheny County, we've got deaths under control for the most part. Maybe that we'll have a cure or a treatment, so to speak. Clearly we seem to have some semblance of that coming around, but we just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, we just don't know the specifics of it. And as far as March is concerned, two things I don't want to happen. One, I don't want to be the organizer of what turns into a super spreader event and get people sick and, kill their grandmas. Two, I don't want nobody to show up. Number one, obviously, I want everybody to be safe and happy and healthy, because, I wouldn't do this if I didn't care about seeing people and wanting people. Two, I want to see people. So if nobody's going to come, why would I? Or, it would only be, or if I'd be limited capacity-wise and it would only be, 20% of what it was the year before, is that really even worth it? Because a lot of, time and money also goes into planning this as well. And if there's nobody to show up, it's not worth it for the vendors to drive out. And if it's not worth it for the vendors to drive out, they're not going to give me money to pay for a table. And if they don't give me money to pay for a table, I can't pay for the hotel to have the contest. And if I can't do that, then it's like I put hours and hours and hours of work into this, and that doesn't really net me any money. It's just for fun, really. So, the potential is that nobody shows up, I'm stuck with a bill, and we've got 5 competitors, and it's lame. And I don't want that to happen either. So March is probably off the table unless something changes drastically. We'll see. I don't really ever start planning until January anyway, so maybe some things will change by January. I'm not saying no for sure, but not enough has changed in the last 6-8 months that would make me think that it's going to change enough that March will be fine. That's just where my head is right now, and I've talked to some people locally. I've talked to some local medical professionals, and just asking them, hey, what do you think about having something like this in March? And truthfully, they think it might get worse. It could potentially get worse rather than better, especially with flu season coming in and everything like that. So I hope that's not the case. I hope everybody stays safe, and I hope things get better, and I hope everybody's better and stuff. But March just doesn't look likely. The second option was to move it outside and push it back till spring. This is a little bit more complex because the cool thing about the Ace Hotel was that it's like the perfect venue, right? It's got the stage, the sound system's already there, and I've got all the space I need to set up vendor tables around the walls, have everybody congregate in the center, and just go nuts, right? And just have a great time, have a great contest. And it's perfect because then too, when you break for lunch, there's a great restaurant downstairs, and even if you don't want the downstairs restaurant, you can go to 100 other places that are within a 2-minute walking distance. Including Chipotle and all kinds of things like that, if that's what you want. And there's a Permanis within walking distance. If you want Pittsburgh original stuff, Kelly-O's Diner is there. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff down there that just kind of makes it perfect. And usually, too, if it's a nice day, we end up with food trucks out there as well. So, I mean, it's really the best of everything. And that's really why I think the Ace Hotel is such a perfect place. Because there's also parking and everything there, too. So it really kind of gives you that Pittsburgh experience, but, we're in a sort of cool, contained neighborhood that's safe and fun to walk around in, and lots of stuff to see, lots of stuff to do, in addition to having a contest, lots of stuff to eat. So the thought of pushing it outside would have to sort of be the perfect venue, and it can't just be a stage outside in a park somewhere. It would need to be somewhere that I could get a permit for, that I could have some kind of sound system set up and not break local sound ordinances. That's the other thing that's hard too. Once you go outside, is that you don't want to annoy people with, a setup that has to be loud so people can hear what's going on. But at the same time, you could be annoying people who live near the park. So there's a lot of other things to consider as far as moving it outside is concerned. I have not found the perfect outside venue or a outside venue that would accommodate it as of yet. So that's a bit difficult as well, but that's a potential. The other potential is, to just wait even longer. I don't know that I like that as much, but I'd sort of rather push it out until September if we can go full on in September. You know what I mean? Like, why rush a sort of half-assed convention, half-assed contest in March when if I push it out to September, it could be the same as it always is, potentially. We could get to September and be like, well, we got to wait more now, still, because we're still here. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't see the future, unfortunately, but I'm looking into it, and my eyes are open, and I want to bring it back, but I want to come back safely. I want to do it in a way that everybody feels safe, that everybody can come to and be safe at the event, and to do it at a time where everybody's not sort of crushed by a financial burden either of being able to come out. I know it costs money to go to contests. I mean, I would have gone to a few every year. It costs money to go. You have to arrange travel, if you're staying, you have to arrange a hotel, you have to eat. It costs money, and I know that, like, just throwing money at something frivolous like that, plus you want to come out and buy yo-yos. I know that just throwing money at stuff like that can be tough, now that we're kind of in, a downturned economy thanks to the, pandemic. So I'm not sure yet. I don't have any answers, and I think that's probably the conclusion of this video. I don't have any answers yet, but I'm thinking, I'm looking, I'm trying. I've been in discussion with Kai. He's also thinking, looking, and trying as well. Collaboratively, Kai and I are trying to figure out a way to bring this back and to bring back East Coast Masters, particularly safely, but also as soon as we can, because we miss it. There's always the potential that we just can't for 2021. I think that needs to be on the table. It needs to be said. I don't want to give anybody false hope that, like, oh, it's for sure going to happen. We're for sure going to do it. We're trying, but it totally may not happen until 2022. We may be over a year out, and I'm sorry if it ends up being that way. But there's a potential that could happen. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. Having to cancel the event was probably one of the hardest days, I think, for me, of this whole quarantine. Anyway, because I had to go and tell everybody who I was excited to see, hey, don't come. Don't leave. Here's your money back. So I had a big event planned that I worked my ass off, and Kai and I worked our asses off to plan, and we had to just flush it like at the last second, and it was awful, and that was in a rough spot for a little while. After that, I don't think I made any videos for a week or so. It was tough. So I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that to you guys. I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to do it to Kai. So we're thinking, we're looking, we're planning. Nothing serious yet, but I need to know your thoughts too. Tell me down in the comments below. What do you guys think? How are we going to come back and do this? I know, a lot of people are probably going to say, just do it and see what happens. That's not an option. Okay, I just want to tell everybody ahead of time. If you just say, just do it, and whoever wants to come can come. That's not an option, because then I'm stuck with a bill and potentially a lame contest, and we're not going to do that. So, let me know your thoughts down below. Otherwise, for that, thanks for watching, guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.